at least for the most part, I know that question. I got the audio fixed up. I adjusted all the little settings that I had to. I had something going on with my microphone, but uh, it's a blessing to see everybody. I hope that you find this informative. I hope this works out for you. Well, really, I don't. I wanted to get on. I know it's been a little bit of a long time since I've kind of put full productiveness into the channel or into the vlogs, and I realized that it's been the process having to deal with just new things. I've honestly been reading a lot. Uh, See the bookcase back there. New things to the library edition, but I get off topic a lot. Just something that I thought about earlier, and I was like, well, I don't feel very inclined to. And then I realized that it's necessary that do have to be done, and that it's necessary to do. What a thing, huh? Anyways, so let's fix this right quick. All right, boom, boom. All right, dude. So I turned on my computer because I literally was just gonna do a straight shot interview, the whole 9 yards. I was just gonna be on discussion, just throwing things out. But then I was like, man, I need to write this down because if I don't write this down, I'm probably gonna forget this. So today I had what was it? Man, I've been reading, honestly. I've been reading a lot. There's this book I was reading, and it says something about how terror is in a circle, and in this circle there's a comfort zone, so like smack dead center, and then the outside is the panic zone. And it explained expectations of panic, of what your super ego would tell you to do, or something that it would make you feel bad, right? And so there was no way to, and then the growth zone out into the panic zone. There's three zones, right? Center, comfort. Second one is growth. It's like a medium green size ring. And then the largest ring is panic. And it's hard to get into these bust into these panics zones that are now panic zones, because we're too focused in that growth zone. We haven't ventured off into that panic zone because we haven't done enough things that are different to us, that would push us beyond the limits of what we now do to get into that panic zone, to broaden up that panic circle up at the very top. And that was real weird to me, because his thing was like, it was kind of not weird. It was just interesting because his thing was that there was, man, he played expectations into that, and it's expectations of other people, like around us, that make us fold. And it was real interesting, just the example he made, that if every most likely you were going to get eaten, and it's like a natural human ingrained thing to feel kind of awkward, say public speaking or talking in crowds or just being around other people and seeing like what they think of you and such like that. So anyways, that really, it kind of took me back, because I was thinking about another kind of conference that I was in earlier. It's just all so many events that happened in one day that just kind of smacked it like a freaking asteroid, and everything came together. So, anyways, I'm in this conference, right, with this kind of like a team learning thing, and this guy, he's a German psychologist or something like that. He's talking about how public speech is the same thing as like primal ancient like eatings, where they would like pretty much eat somebody, or like, if you're the last one in the room in a situation where everybody's hungry and people start kind of like looking at you, most likely you're about to get eaten. Being eaten at its core root, it's kind of just ingrained in your body as a sense of fear. So naturally, whenever people are speaking in public and they feel suddenly that they're forgetting, the words are splitting from the brain, it's like you see everybody looking around you. It makes you anxious, and you feel this tension of terror that makes you tight, and you can no longer communicate the same way that you were communicating before. So it's a real eerie feeling too, right? um Anyways, so I actually had a Polaroid in college, and it was an old Polaroid. I used to shoot pictures from different places where I had been with my friends. So I had a notebook, right? It's somewhere around there. In this notebook, uh, I would write whatever thoughts, whatever feelings I felt whenever we were going off these different paths or going on different trips. And I it honestly it dates back almost like 5 little journal diary of different inquisitive things that I've come across in my times and beyond the Polaroids. But so what really stuck out to me is that I found this thought. Here it goes. This is the picture. Uh, in case you couldn't see it or you want an idea, I took a picture of 3 trees, and I got a little description that I wrote. And I had forgot about this. I completely forgot that this page even existed. That it just kind of fell out of the notebook at some point, and but it's like 5 years later. The point is, the year is long, right? There is 365 days in a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours in one day, 525,000 minutes in a year. Things happen to us all the time. Every single minute, every single second, something changes. Now think about for a matter of fact, every seconds in a day. Don't ask me how I know that. Just know that I know that. It's like a wrestler thing. Anyways, of that day, then there's 31,500 something thousand seconds in a year. That's a lot of time. That's actually a chunk load of time, because if you think about it in like the very second, right now, this very second, I can be up on the swing. I'm being great. I'm in a great mood. 30 seconds from now, completely changes. But you don't remember every exact moment of how you're feeling at every specific time in your life, much less within a year or within a couple years. So a lot of that time is lost. A lot of these moments or these thoughts that you have are lost. And many people are going to talk about how like they always had this $1 million idea, or that they didn't, or they might have lost that $1 million idea just because you didn't, I guess, didn't have the opportunity to write that down, what you were thinking in that given moment. So somewhere between all the time, there is moments that we forget. So many moments in every second that how can you remember a simple thought from just any other ordinary day? Anywho, so I took this picture of these trees, right? This is what the whole purpose of the video was. I took this picture of these trees. And as you can tell, so I'll describe it for you a little bit. There's 3 trees. One, two, three. The time is like fall at some point. It's got to be like at least 3 years old for something like that. Anyways, so the picture of the far left tree, it's just a tree, but it's almost bare naked. It's got no leaves on it, none at all. The middle tree has more leaves on it, but it's missing some around the top. And then the tree all the way to the far right, you can see is very healthy, very big and bushy. So I took this picture then, and what I wrote was for we have the bare naked tree all the way on the left, has almost no leaves on it. It's kind of even hard to see, it's just sticks. I gave it a description of some people are missing plenty in their life, making them empty. Others have a couple things intact, but are still missing the little things that ultimately make them. The middle tree that's got more bushes, and it's very interesting how they were all kind of in a line, so it made perfect sense. And then the last tree that's pretty healthy and bushy on a whole, but some have overcome and put it all together like a puzzle, realize those missing pieces and regrouped. In the end, it takes recognition of what is missing to be complete. So, boom. How does that relate to expectations and how we are terrified of them? I think the trees are in the same expectation as we are. I think that this moment from my past really came to speak in the present or the future in a way that it will show us expectations are merely a level of guilt that represses us to a level where we can't desire what we want because every step of the way isn't perfect. But to know that every step of the way is perfect on the way to your best is really what makes you whole. Because as you go in life, I might have been feeling um, expectations at some point, but it may be those previous expectations that are now what make me whole because I have learned to appreciate that level of expectation of myself rather than making it something that holds you back. Comparing yourself to somebody, I feel like is an expectation that you think that these people are going to be better than you or somebody in your field is better than you whenever it's a simple thought of somebody else. And 9 times out of 10, usually we give people better benefit of the doubt when it comes to that, by the way. But we don't all have it together. So to be in terror of what other people may think of you for shooting your shot at, I'm not talking about shots, I'm talking about like at your career or at whatever it may be. There should be no expectation of how it should end. There should only be the will to face that and really to embrace that is the perfect word for it. To embrace, because what is, you can take forth and make it known. Therefore, the next step is not unknown. It's already something that has been done in the previous level. And that's actually really beautiful to see right there because to think about that is like, no, tree, you weren't always empty. You were every tree. As long as you're this tree, you can be the skinny tree with no leaves. Because at every moment, you're not going to have what you expect to have. But at every moment, you already have what you need to get what you want to have. So it's like, you got to learn to appreciate that. You have to learn to appreciate that you are already there in the exact moment that you wanted to be in, and the exact level that you wanted to be in, that you desire to be in. It's like we already are there. There's no need to run and terrify yourself over something that's to come because you're already ready for it. You already have it. I hope that's not a big mumbo jumbo. I don't come very much prepared to these things just simply because I like to adapt to the conversation and really give this raw talent a step up and a word for communication that anything can go, anything can be said, um, and that it's real. I think at the top of the list, real YouTubers, real streamers aren't really alive anymore. Everything is staged in life, so it seems like there has to be some real and somebody out there that's willing to articulate all of these processes, and different problems of the world. Honestly, there's not a lot of people that can talk about problems, or much less, not even just to say problems. There's not a lot of people that can articulate into words different feelings and thought processes of the world. It doesn't even necessarily have to be problems. It could just be simply, a better word for it, concepts of the world. And that's a gift for most people. I'm not saying I'm God's gift or anything like that. By no means. I'm dandy. I am not the best out there, but it really blows my mind that you just don't see that as often anymore. And to have been one of the OG YouTubers to have started that, I think, or to ride that wave, because obviously there's a hell of them out there that are real like that. But to have been one of the first ones to ride that wave and be it an organic way, I think that's what makes my channel different. And I would love to continue the vlogs at some point. I will kick back up on that. I have to get my writing done. I'm starting a new book. Um, I've also been reading a lot, and I've been a little bit more busier, but I would love to get that going again and just unite the channel in a big collaborative effort and keep it bumping the way it used to be because we were much more active. Uh, but man, that's pretty much all I had. I hope that somebody has some kind of questions. I hope somebody, whoever needs to see this, sees this and just knows. I mean, expectations are not to be taken heavily, because I mean, we could go into all kinds of things about the ego, super ego, and how your best doubter is yourself, really. But that we can say that for another time. So love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comment below. We'll try to get on live, maybe some more discussions throughout the year also, and get some more topics together. But I'm back, baby. Love you guys. Everybody be safe. God bless you.